Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I'd kind of change things up a little bit and tell you about my favorite book series. I have a lot of different book series that I really love and I've kind of narrowed it to my top 5, and I will be making a separate list of my top 5 standalone books just because I can't choose my favorite books, so I kind of have to break it up to kind of work my way around choosing a favorite book. So these are my favorite book series. I'm going to be showing you the first one of all the series and how many there are in each series and the author, and so you can go and find them and read them, and you should love them just as much as I do. Side note, they are all pretty much young adult novels, not really adult, but I think anybody of any age will enjoy them just because they're so great. So the first one is Midnight for Charlie Bone, which is the first in the Charlie Bone series. Charlie Bone is a 12-year-old boy who discovers that he has these weird magical powers where he can hear what's going on through a photograph, and it's really cool. He finds out that he's not the only one who has weird magical powers. He goes to a fancy school with these other magical kids and non-magical kids, and basically he has to battle the forces of good and evil within the school and beyond in the town. And if you like Harry Potter, you will definitely like this book. The Charlie Bone series is definitely aimed for a little bit of the younger side of the Harry Potter audience. I'd say middle school is a good age to read these, but I read them in high school, I think, and I still love them, and I still like to read them and love them. So the first one is called Midnight for Charlie Bone. It is by Nimmo, and yeah, I believe there are 7 in the series. I own 6, but there are 7 in the series, and they're actually pretty quick reads. The font's pretty big, so I can read one of these in maybe like a couple hours. So they're pretty fast reads also because they're kind of for the younger audience, but they're so good all the same. My second favorite series, and I should say also they are not in order, is Inkheart by Cornelia Funke. This is the first in the series. The second one is called Ink Spell, and the third one is called Ink Death. And there was actually a movie made based on this book with Brendan Fraser, and it wasn't terrible, but I mean, if you liked the movie, then you'll really like the book, but if you didn't like the movie, you still might like the book. Vaguely, the main character's father has the power to read books and the characters come to life, and she gets caught up in an adventure where he gets kidnapped and she has to save him. So it's really interesting, and the strong female character is really great. There are a ton of great characters in this book. Cornelia Funke is probably one of my all-time favorite authors, so that should definitely also tell you how much I love this book. And it is kind of like, if you liked Harry Potter, you would like this, but this is a little bit, I think, for an older age, like definitely high school, maybe even late high school, early college age. It's just a really good book, and they progressively get thicker, and this one's pretty thick already, so it's kind of up there on the reading level. My next favorite series is the Divergent series. I know you're probably sick about hearing about the Divergent series, but I loved the movie, so then I decided to read the books, and the first book is essentially the exact same as the movie, which I was really excited about because as I was reading it, and I read it just last year, so it's not like, so it's a young adult novel, but college-aged kids, people, adults would like them too, but I read it recently, and when I was reading it I was like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what happened in the movie, and It's pretty close. I can't exactly remember the entire movie, and I can't exactly remember the entire book, but they are so similar. So if you really liked the movie, read the book. It is so good, and it also kind of adds to it, I think, because you get to see more into Triss's head because it's from her point of view. Because the movie can only do so much. They can't blatantly tell you what they're thinking all the time, whereas a book will tell you. And I sped through the first one. It's Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant. And then there is a fourth one called 4, which is the first book from 4's point of view, which I haven't read, but I'm kind of interested in, kind of not, just because I ended up not really liking his character. So there are technically 4 in the series, but only 3 that focus on Triss. And Divergent is by Veronica Roth. The next book series that I enjoyed as a child is Magyk by Angie Sage. It is the first book in the Septimus Heap series. I believe there's like 7 of them, but it's about the 7th son of the 7th son, and he's like the most powerful wizard. And this book is so good. This is also for a little bit of the younger group, probably early high school, middle school, late middle school, early high school age. And it is so good if you like magic, naturally, and you like Harry Potter, and you like more of the magic side, rather than like the children battling evil kind of thing. This is definitely it. I mean, obviously there are obstacles to overcome, but this is a lot more about the magic, and it's really good. The first one's called Magyk, the second one's called Flight, the third one is I don't remember, but they all have the funky little spellings. And so yeah, Septimus Heap Book 1, Magyk by Angie Sage, is definitely on my list of favorite series. And then, because I have to, and it is definitely on my list of favorite series, is Harry Potter. I have this nice box set of the first 4, and then I also have 5, 6, and 7 in hard copy. And just, if you haven't read Harry Potter yet, and even if you're absolutely sick to death of hearing about Harry Potter, just read it, just give it a chance. The reason it resonated so much with me was because I read it when I was in 4th grade, and it just kind of gave me an escape from 4th grade, which sounds like I had a terrible childhood, but I didn't. Harry Potter legitimately is one of the reasons why I want to be an author someday. It's one of those book series that really change your life depending on when you read it. So just give it a try. Just give it a try. Especially because the first one is so small, you can speed right through it. Same with the second one. The second one's really small too. So even if you just give the first 2 a try, hopefully you'll fall in love with it. And if you got stuck along the way, just keep reading them. They are so good. Just skip 6 and 7. To be honest, I didn't really like 6 or 7. I absolutely hated 6, and 7 was just so, that was an emotional roller coaster. Anyway, so that's all of the book series that I love. So Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling, Magyk by Angie Sage, Divergent by Veronica Roth, Cornelia, Funke, and Inkheart, and then Midnight for Charlie Bone by Nimmo. They are seriously some of the best books that I've ever read in my entire life. So if you are looking for a new series to read, go pick them up. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next week with a brand new video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next week. Bye! That was an emotional roller coaster.